Hello, my name is Shay Marriott. I am a licensed social worker here in the state of Delaware. And welcome back to all the mentors. I first would like to say thank you so much for doing the work. Our children need you, so it is greatly appreciated. A little bit about myself. I am a therapist and I used to work with children and adolescents. Now I see adults only, but I am the director of the Center for Child Development, Amani Healing and Therapy Center, as well as Delaware Center for Counseling and Wellness. And at the Center for Child Development, we see children and adolescents. We have over 120 schools here in the state of Delaware that we have therapists in. So I'm going to be talking to you today about how to connect with your mentees. Some of the questions that came in, I'm going to answer some of the questions that was already pre-written for me, and I will give you some information on that. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about what to do or what things to take in consideration when you are mentoring 8th, 9th, and 10th graders, okay? So first, we're going to talk about the developmental stages. For 8th graders, typically around 13 or 14 years old, they are transitioning from middle school to high school, okay? This is really a big time for them. So they may be dealing with social pressures, they may be dealing with identity, and also the stress of preparing for high school, right? For your 9th graders, at around 14 to 15 years old, they are adjusting to new demands of high school, okay? So they may feel overwhelmed by increased academic goals, right? Because it gets a little bit more intense the higher you go in high school. So they may be dealing with new social dynamics and also just the overall pressure to fit in. Now, your 10th graders, they are generally between ages 15 to 16, and they are starting to think more seriously, okay? They're thinking more about their future. They're thinking about career options. They're thinking about college. They may need support in goal setting and maintaining motivation, right? So just think about when you were in 10th grade. What were some of the things that you felt you needed during that time? That is the same thing that our kids need now. So the next one will be emotional support. So with emotional support, you're going to help them build confidence. So many students in these grades, they do struggle with self-esteem. We see this all the time. So encouraging them, celebrating their success is going to be important, and also helping them learn from their failures. That's going to be important as well, helping them learn from their failures. Listening, being able to provide a safe space when they're feeling uncomfortable, okay? Helping them share their concerns without judgment, right? So you want to do active listening. Dealing with stress, that's another thing. Teach them coping mechanisms, right? Teach them how to deal with stress, no matter whether it's from academics or if it's a social issue or even their own personal challenges. Just kind of teach them how to deal with managing their own stress. Academic guidance is going to be important. Again, during this time, you are working with kids that are going to be transitioning. So helping them with study skills, helping with goal setting again, and also career exploration is going to be important, especially for your 10th graders. Social skills. Our kids can always use work for social skills. So peer relationships, discussing the importance of healthy friendships and how to handle peer pressure. That's going to be important. And also teaching them conflict resolution. Digital literacy, educating them on responsible social media use, okay? And that's including the impact of their online behavior and their reputation and their mental health. That's a big one, okay? Independence and responsibility, helping them with making healthy decision making, and also learning how to be responsible. Cultural awareness is another one. Diversity and inclusion is very big right now, so teach them to appreciate diversity, and be inclusive of others from different backgrounds. It's going to be important to discuss the importance of empathy and respect when we're talking about cultural awareness. And again, future planning, right? High school transitioning from, 8th graders transition into 9th grade. All of that is going to be helpful. College and career planning for the 9th and 10th graders, that's going to be helpful. Now, I'm not for sure how often you guys have parental involvement, but communication, encourage open communication between the students and their parents or their guardians. If you can, I'm not for sure if you do this or not, but just keeping parents informed of their child's progress and any concerns that you may have as their mentors. And then last but not least, personal interests and passions. Just encouragement, support their personal interests, support their passions, whether it's music, sports, the arts, whatever that's going to bring them joy and fulfillment. We want to encourage that for them. And keep in mind, by being aware of all of these considerations, you can create a supportive and effective mentoring relationship with your student. Okay, and this helps address the unique needs of each age group. Okay, so let's get to the Q&A. And so some of the questions I'm going to go over that was sent in. How can we start conversations with mentees to assist with relationships? Use open-ended questions. That's always important. Begin with an open-ended question like, what are you passionate about right now? Tell me something interesting that happened in your day today. When was the last time that you laughed, right? This invites them to share and feel valued. So open-ended questions are so important. Shared interests, find common ground. You might have something in common with your mentee. So if you know a little bit about their interests, use that as a conversation starter, okay? For example, I heard you like basketball. Who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite team? Those are conversation starters. Again, go back to active listening. Make sure you're paying attention. Reflect. Repeat what they're saying so you know exactly what they're saying. You do not want to assume with your mentee. You want to make sure you are repeating exactly what they're saying. Active listening is going to be important. Okay? The next one is, how can we build on these interactions through the program as we only see students one time a month? Okay. Consistency is important. Try to start I must call them sessions. Try to start each session by revisiting previous conversations that you may have had. You could say, the last time we talked, you mentioned whatever it was that they mentioned. How is that going? Okay. Do check-ins. Use a quick check-in at the beginning of each time you meet to gauge where their emotional state is. So like maybe saying, on a scale of 1 to 10, how has your week been so far? Okay, those are like really good check-ins. Again, goal setting is going to be important. Positive reinforcement. Celebrate their success and acknowledge their efforts, no matter how small. That's important. The next question, how do we handle conflicts to help students with their emotional well-being? You want to address the conflict early. When you notice tension or conflict, address it directly, but gently, okay? You don't want the child to shut down on you. So, no yelling, no speaking in a tone where it's aggressive, Just try to use statements like, I noticed there was some tension early. Do you want to talk about it? Right? Don't tell them what they should be saying or doing or feeling. That's not what we're there for, okay? We want to make sure we don't lose the connection with your student. So I noticed there was some tension earlier. Would you like to talk about it? Another conflict resolution skill is teaching them conflict resolution techniques such as active listening, using I statements, and understanding different perspectives. Some de-escalation techniques that you can use, encourage them to take a break. If their emotions are running high, and then revisit the situation later. Don't sit there and try to talk to them when you already know that their emotions are running high. Put yourself in timeout. You take a break. Let them take a break, and then revisit it another time. Another thing you can do is normalize emotions. Let them know it's okay to be upset, but emphasize that the importance of handling these emotions constructively. Okay. How do we address verbal abuse from mentees and provide a positive tone to ensure we all are respectful? Okay. So, if you are experiencing verbal abuse, you want to immediately respond. If a mentee uses disrespectful language, address it immediately by saying to them, I understand you may be upset, but that language isn't respectful. So let's talk about what's really bothering you. Okay? Acknowledge them. Acknowledge and validate their feelings. I know that you may be upset. However, the language that you're using, the tone that you're using is being disrespectful, right? It's not respectful. So let's really talk about what's bothering you. All right? And also, you want to model respectful communication. If a student is blowing up on you, the last thing you want to do is blow back up on them, right? So always respond in a calm and respectful manner, and make sure you are setting the boundaries. For example, it's important that we speak to each other with respect, even when we disagree. Okay? Next question. Can you share tips on how to set boundaries with mentors and mentees student relationship? First, you want to clarify the roles. Clarify, from start, explain mentor and mentee relationship and set clear expectations. My role is to support and guide you, but I'm also here to set boundaries when needed. Okay? So you want to clarify your roles. Again, your boundaries have to be consistent. Okay? That's the only way they're going to respect that. Also, respect their privacy. That's important. Don't force them to talk about something that they're not ready to talk about. Make it clear that while you're there to help, they are not obligated to share everything. Okay? And time boundaries. So respect time boundaries by ending sessions on time, ensuring any additional communication outside of the scheduled meetings is appropriate and professional. All right. The next question is there a list of phrases or examples to use to showcase positive tone? Again, encouraging openness. All right. So it may sound like, I'm really interested in what you have to say. Promoting reflection. That may sound like, what do you think might be the best approach to this situation? Offering support. I'm here to support you through this. Okay, these are all phrases that you can use. Reinforcing boundaries. That may sound like, let's make sure we both are being respectful in our conversation. And then the last one would be acknowledging effort. I can see you're putting in a lot of effort, and that's really great. So these are phrases that you can use to help promote positive tone. Okay? So this approach fosters safe, respectful, and supportive environments that encourages teens to open up, engage positively, and grow through the mentor and mentee relationship. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope this was helpful, and have a wonderful school year. Thank you again.